Welcome to Bowl Bound, a half-hour special presented by 13 Sports, sponsored by Briggs Auto Group. Join Vince and Katie as they take a deep dive into our local Bowl Bound teams, KU and KState.
Well, welcome to our Bowl Bound special, as both KU and K-State gear up for their respective bowl games, Katie.
Yeah.
Just a few short days.
Yeah, only a few days away, and we're going to be out there traveling with the team. I'll be with KU, you'll be with K-State.
That's right.
Christmas in the desert. I'm excited.
And Christmas in Orlando?
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. Without further ado, let's start with the Wildcats, who've been pretty busy the last several weeks. They have a high number of guys in the transfer portal, guys like Will Howard, RJ Garcia, Kobe Savage, Trayshawn Ward, and Will Lee. Now, most of those guys have found their new homes already, not including Phillip Brooks and Ben Sennett declaring for the NFL draft as well, Katie. But former K-State legend Colin Klein, he took the offensive coordinator job at Texas A&M. A lot of moving pieces. But one thing is for sure they're thrilled about is Avery Johnson.
As Chris Kleiman put it, it's Avery Johnson's team, and the players agree too.
Everybody has that uncertainty, especially for him, just because he came for Colin Klein, he wanted to build with him. So for him making the jump to stay and about the confidence he has in himself, that it's just not about the coach, it's about who himself and his commitment to the team. So it shows a lot of character.
And I think there's the more experience you can get with Avery, I think the bowl game would be a great step, not just for me, but I mean for all the receivers, for the offense in general, you know, especially him, just gives him a chance to go in the game knowing he's going to command the game, and, you know, I'm excited for him.
We all know he's a really special, talented kid, and I'm excited because, you know, I think we're going to showcase a lot of his abilities, and it's a look into the future. But, you know, he had some pretty good snaps this fall, so it's not like he's going to be nervous or anything. He's a very confident guy. The players are confident in him, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun and see what he can do.
And see what the senior class can do and finish out their careers, who built the standard when Kleiman arrived. It's
a great senior class, and they've been with me the whole time. It's fun, and some of them were six-year guys, so they were here even a year before I got here, but they've been the foundation for our success, all those seniors. When I came in, they bought into all of us as coaches. We've elevated the program. We've continued. Once we got through the pandemic year, 21, 22, 23 have been really special years in Kansas State football. And it's a credit to those guys that, not like Coop said, they stuck around together. They've established the locker room down there. They've established a culture of you know, expectations, being high expectations here, like they should be at K-State.
Those expectations were met from the get-go, and why the Wildcats are getting more attention.
Those guys came in and attacked the process. They didn't have anything handed to them. Every one of those guys you mentioned worked for everything they have, and were great leaders for our team, great players, and great people in the locker room. And they represent what Kansas State's all about. And this kid's going to go in the Ring of Honor. Rightfully so, just like Deuce is going to, because of being that two-time consensus All-American. And I'm excited, you know, to see all the kids that we've had on NFL rosters this year and playing. And, you know, when we came here in 2019, a couple of things we talked about were you can win a Big 12 championship and you can be a first-round draft choice.
Whoever wins, the talk is the Pop-Tarts mascot may be edible. Will Coach see what it tastes like?
I don't think I'd be able to get through there because of all those old linemen that are going to be surrounding the thing. And I'll let those guys, I'll let Coop and the Beef handle that one.
Now, Kleiman did mention offensive line coach Connor Riley will call the plays but won't make any changes to his coaching staff, if any, until after the season.
Wonder what type of Pop-Tart flavor that'll be.
I know, I'm excited.
Well, now to KU side. It's been just 3 years since Lance Leipold took over a winless program, and he now has the chance to make it a 9-4 season for the first time in a long time. I sat down with Coach Leipold to talk about quite a lot, and one of the first things I asked was about the impact of Jason Bean choosing to come back this year.
Yeah, it's such a unique story and a special story, one that I think in my career as a coach, assistant, or otherwise is as good as any, because his unselfishness and really in today's landscape where so many players, if the opportunity isn't there, are quick to hit the eject button and move on. And he could have done that. He could have just moved on in life and tried to get a tryout and do other things. But for him to come back in the way he has, and understanding what the role was going to be, I think was also something really special. But stayed ready, and not only did he stay ready, he kept improving.
You as a head coach, you had a difficult job in managing. I know you touched on this earlier in the season, managing, feeling terrible for Jalen that he can't play when, preseason Big 12 Player of the Year, but also being happy for Jason. How do you kind of balance that?
Yeah, it is kind of tough because and then watching all the things Jalen's gone through and to be on the inside of it and have those conversations and to see the emotions, frustration and sadness to, just feeling down and then being up around his teammates, that's tough in that realm. And again, Jalen's probably handled that as a lot better than I ever would imagine. But then again, as you said, with Jason, I've never have had to have a conversation with Jason being about his attitude and body language when he wasn't starting. Okay, and that's not always the case. Yeah, I want our team to win. I want him to play well and all those things. But then there's that other component that goes, man, he deserves it. And I really hope it plays out for him this way, and I think it has. And I'm really hoping that he ends his Jayhawk career and his college career on a great note in Arizona.
Yeah, and them and a lot of other guys on the team, you've taken this team to have a fan base that used to be a little surprised when there was a win to now expecting a win. But you've always kind of said Rome wasn't built in a day. You went from 2 wins to this. How do you kind of remind fans and your team of that?
I don't know if you'll remind them. I think that's the world we live in again. It's a what have you done for me lately world and a profession. I had one of our good boosters, and in a positive way, he was like, "Oh, we could have been 10-2 this year." Yeah, when we were 2-10 just a couple years ago. And I do feel strong about this, is our fan base does understand and appreciate the efforts of our players and staff. They know now when they come out to watch us play that it should be an exciting competitive game, and that's definitely different than our first season and before that.
We've got less than a week now to the bowl game. I know you said the day that the bowl was announced, you've always been a fan of the bowl experience. Why exactly is that?
Because that's the way I grew up. I kind of liked to, when you had winter break from school, you turn on games and you hear about, or you see destinations and matchups that you don't normally see. I guess that's part of being maybe I'm a traditionalist in that respect. But when you go into the communities that host these, it means a lot to them. And the volunteers and the people that you can tell are going out of their way. We've played on Christmas Day. We're going to play the day after Christmas. There's people in these communities that are giving up their holidays to make this happen in their cities. And I think that says something too about where college football and some of these things have been. And I think our players, I don't know how many of them been to Phoenix or how many will ever get there again after this. So I think that's important too.
Yeah, how huge would it be to end this season with a win? Couldn't do it last year. Extra motivated to this year? Yeah,
well, first of all, it'd be huge. It'll be, to get to 9 wins, and as we've talked about already, from just 2 wins to 2 seasons ago and to keep building on that, and then the seasons of 7 and more wins, and then it's fewer, 8 more. Where a 9-win season would truly put this 2023 team in Jayhawk football history. It'll be in small company, and it'll be something special and something that I hope each and every one will be proud of, but also be big for our program moving forward.
Playing around Christmas time, it's a pretty good problem to have these days.
Exactly, right? Exactly.
Well, we've got more Jayhawk and Wildcat coverage coming up after this quick timeout, including exclusives with both schools' athletic directors.
And some game analysis, so you know what to expect come kickoff.
Hi, Mitch Holtis here for BriggsAuto.com. Did you know that Briggs Auto has the largest selection of quality pre-owned vehicles in Northeast Kansas? Recently voted the #1 used car dealership, Briggs Auto always strives for 100% customer satisfaction in the vehicle you purchase and our award-winning service departments. From community involvement to supporting our troops to employing hundreds of great people, Briggs Auto is proud to be a part of your community and lives. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, or service, come see why the championship team at Briggs Auto delivers.
Thanks for sticking with us on our Bowl Bound special for KU and K-State.
And both of these institutions have great athletic directors, Katie.
Yeah.
Both Travis Goff and Gene Taylor, and I know you talked with Travis Goff, and I know that was probably a wonderful sit-down.
Yeah, look, when Lance Leipold was hired at Kansas, he and athletic director Travis Goff, they had a lot of conversations about what this program could become. So I sat down with Travis the other day to talk about investing in this football program, fan engagement out in Phoenix, et cetera, the list goes on. And when I asked if he thought they'd be sitting at 8-4 in just 3 years, well, he couldn't help but be honest to start.
I wouldn't have put that on the whiteboard. You know, I was not in the business of trying to, predict records and when we'd be bowling and when we'd be in position to talk about competing for Big 12 championships, all those different types of things. There's no question, I've said it from the jump, they've been ahead of schedule.
This fan base used to be surprised if there was a win from this team.
Yeah.
Now they expect it. They get mad when it doesn't happen. How cool is that, seeing that turnaround?
It's funny how fast that,
Yeah.
that swing can occur, right? Where you're just trying to get on the board with a W, and then all of a sudden that hits, and our program has demonstrated to our fans that we should expect success in the sport of football at Kansas. Their optimism even outweighs their excitement for today. I think as excited as they are about Phoenix, as excited as they are about a chance to win a 9th game, which is incredible for this program and where we've been, they're looking forward to the future as well.
From your point of view, you knew the fan base was there. They sell out Allen Fieldhouse every time there's a men's basketball game there. What was it like kind of trying to convince them, hey, this is a program that you got to buy into too?
Yeah, I mean, I think they just needed to see some indicators, right? And you could go back to that first season. It wasn't just the Texas win. Of course, last year, that 2022 year, our fans were kind of with them from the jump, right? And it continued to build and kind of culminated with game day, and football's hard. I mean, football in intercollegiate athletics today is harder and more competitive than ever. You add the transfer portal and NIL and the facilities arms race, which we've been behind at KU for frankly generations. And so when we've, for example, worked on the Gateway District in the David Booth Cancer Memorial Stadium, how do we demonstrate tangible, right? And here we are in December of 23, and again, this theme of being ahead of schedule, way ahead of schedule, to have had demo commence and to have really what will be a transformed game day experience open for August of 2025.
And now Jayhawk fans get to have a little game day experience out in Phoenix. What can they expect out there if they're making the trip?
I mean, it's Phoenix and it's Arizona in December, late December. It's going to be great weather, knock on wood. We've got a tailgate that sold out. I think it's 1,200, 1,400 people. It's sold out in a day or less. We've had a bunch of fans buy suites, and so I think the Jayhawk presence is going to be really, really strong, and we're going to make another statement to the country and to the bowl partners out there that Kansas football is going to be part of this thing, and it's going to be a program and a fan base that you're going to want to have at your bowl destination going forward.
And for the second straight year, the Jayhawks bowl ticket allotment has sold out. Good job, Jayhawk Nation.
That's right. Hey, the Jayhawks are coming, as a lot of people have said, and of course, like Travis Goff. As for K-State Director of Athletics, Gene Taylor, he's made his own home run hires: Chris Kleiman, Jerome Tang, Pete Hughes. K-State has won a lot of games recently, especially in football. The 2022 Big 12 champions, the Sugar Bowl appearance, and they've had one losing season since Kleiman's arrival in 2019. Now, over 10 players have entered the portal since the Iowa State game, which has worried some fans about Kleiman's culture in the program. I caught up with Taylor back in November to ask, how does culture work at K-State? He explains.
I think the biggest thing is just understanding the culture of K-State and finding that right fit and that right personality that can come in here and build a program based on, what they believe in as a coach, but also what they believe in terms of the culture that fits here at K-State. Understanding that is really, really critical, and understanding that coaches, if they come in here, they're gonna have to work pretty hard. Just because Manhattan's a great community, we love it. Just getting athletes here, and once they get them here, they have a really good chance of getting them. And coaches have to understand that. We're lucky we have a lot of coaches that do.
And when I spoke to Taylor last year, he said Kleiman has put his own stamp on the program, but respecting the tradition they have, especially with Coach Bill Snyder. Yeah, absolutely. Now, the Jayhawks might be fighting for their 9th win next week, but their equally motivated opponent is trying to hit double-digit wins. 9-4 UNLV finished 3rd in the Mountain West this season, 6-2 in the conference, but with the best overall record. Lance Leipold said the day the bowl was announced he knows how badly they want to hit 10 wins. So what are the Hawks watching out for on defense? Well, defensive coordinator Brian Borland said they're approaching the Rebels with a heavy amount of respect because it's all going to come down to limiting explosive plays.
we don't play them regularly, so we don't know much about them as much. But looks like they've got the quarterback looks good, receiver looks good. I mean they've got some guys that can carry the ball, and obviously they're doing a good job up front. They've been a really explosive team this year, so try to prevent some explosive plays by them. And I think if we can do that, I feel pretty good. If they're gonna be able to light us up in the throw game and run game, then it's probably not going to be that good.
Telling it like it is. I like it.
Exactly. Well, co-PowerCat publisher and co-host of The Drive on WIBW, Tim Fitzgerald, he's covered the Wildcats for many years in several bowl games. But since he's been in Manhattan, the transfer portal, NIL, a lot has changed. I talked with him to get his thoughts on this current team, and does he believe the culture is still intact?
I wish the portal didn't open until after the bowl games, but that's not how it works, and it's really made coaches are in a tough bind to try to get ready for bowl games, and in some ways now it's shifted to bowl game. Kansas State is ending the 2023 season, but because of the portal and so many different guys leaving, now they're kind of starting the 24 season with a bunch of young guys in Orlando, and that's kind of cool.
Players like Will Howard, Trayshawn Ward, Kobe Savage, Nate Matlock, Willie III, who have entered the portal, some have found new homes. Phillip Brooks and Ben Sennett now declaring for the NFL draft. Some big names no longer in Manhattan. Coach Kleiman and Fitzgerald said it has to do with NIL, getting more playing time and to help them towards their future. Well, the future in Manhattan is Avery Johnson now, who has the keys of the program. There was some worry when Colin Klein took the offensive coordinator job at Texas A&M and that Johnson would be the next to leave. But Johnson reaffirmed his commitment to the Cats, and that's where Fitzgerald said he was born to be a leader.
And I want to remind people, he's a true freshman. Think of where all of us were as a true freshman in college. And to be in that position, to be in a room full of grown men and being looked at as a leader, that doesn't happen because you're the quarterback or by chance or just simply because they needed a leader. It's because you are one, and they know it, and people gravitate to natural, driven leaders, and the culture's great. I mean, the amount of compliments I hear from inside the program about Avery and the other young players is astonishing. I've never had this in my 25 plus years of covering KState football. So many compliments about a true freshman class.
Another thing that's for sure, the offensive linemen riding it out one last time together after all deciding to stay one more season, and Fitzgerald loves they're sticking to it.
I love offensive linemen. They're not in this for the glory. They're in this for their brotherhood and the fellowship and the hit stuff. And there's something noble about all that. But the way they're so bonded together is really impressive, and it's meaningful. It's lifelong, and they have done a lot of work together. They've been a huge part of why this program has succeeded, and they want to do it one more time, which is kind of cool.
When the Wildcats play on December 28th against NC State, in Fitzgerald's eyes, it should be pretty even.
I think this will be a fun game. I think, not only is it a good matchup and a great venue, but it's two ranked teams. And it's been a while since this bowl game and its previous names had that kind of matchup. So it's on the national radar a little bit too, so that's pretty fun.
That's some great insight there from Tim Fitzgerald. Well,
Absolutely.
Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more coming your way.
We're taking a closer look at the changes in KU's coaching staff and more on one special Wildcat group that's playing its final game together.
Hi, Mitch Holtis here for BriggsAuto.com. Did you know that Briggs Auto has 10 locations throughout Kansas, representing 13 new car brands? Recently voted the #1 new car dealership, Briggs Auto always strives for 100% customer satisfaction in the vehicle you purchase and our award-winning service departments. From community involvement to supporting our troops to employing hundreds of great people, Briggs Auto is proud to be a part of your community and lives. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, or service, come see why the championship team at Briggs delivers.
Thanks again for sticking with us once again during our Bowl Bound special.
Katie said it best. Well, next, we'll hear from the future Ring of Honor member and consensus All-American offensive lineman, Cooper Beebe. Beebe says, or they call him the Beef, right, of the offensive line, wanted to come back and continue to build and improve the standard in Manhattan, and they certainly have done that. Hayden Gillum, Christian Duffy, KT Livingston, just to name a few, are 5- and 6-year guys that have accomplished a lot together, and some of Kleiman's first recruits. And BB reflects on that big honor.
It's huge. It's definitely very special, and I'm very blessed. You know, that was one of my goals coming back here, as you know, a lot of people know. And you know, I just, you know, it's crazy to look back on my career, and I was just kind of hoping I'd get in at some point in my career just to see, you know, where I've gone now. And it's just a test. And I just thank, you know, to all the players and coaches that have helped me along the way, because you know, this is not something you do by yourself. You know, and it's something, you know, all the players helped me out, especially those dudes on the O-line. So I'm just very honored and blessed.
Something crazy here, Katie. He's the back-to-back Big 12 Offensive Lineman of the Year.
Yeah.
He has more of those awards than he's allowed sacks in his career.
That really says, yeah, that says a
That's
lot.
absolutely
He's been very fun
insane.
to watch. Yeah,
Yes.
Gonna miss that group. Well, the Jayhawks did some shifting around in the coaching staff these last few weeks. Former offensive coordinator Andy Kotelnicki taking the OC job at Penn State, making the jump to the Big Ten. So things will look a little different this bowl game because they've got their new guy, or guys, question mark? Now former Baylor OC Jeff Grimes is filling the role of assistant head coach / co-OC, and quarterbacks coach Jim Zabrowski is joining him as co-OC. This program has a staff that has worked together with Coach Leipold for a long time, many before they even came to Lawrence. But that camaraderie didn't intimidate Grimes a bit. He actually thought it was a pretty cool thing to be a part of.
I think it's a positive. You know, my goal would be to blend in, not stick out. And when you have something that's been successful, the staff camaraderie piece specifically, you know, I want to come in and hope that I can just add to that.
And as Coach Z will tell you, the coaching change hasn't really altered anything amongst the team.
I've been really happy with excited about the way the guys have approached it, have accepted change, and just kind of kept on trucking. You know, it shows how strong the culture is. Guys just got, okay. And it's not necessarily next man up. It's like, here we go. And then Coach Grimes came, and the guys were all excited. I told him, I said, unbelievable guy, terrific coach. I go, and he came in. They're like, what's up, Coach Grimes? And let's go and move on.
Still TBD who we'll see on the field versus up in the box. Coach Z was saying they're still working that out, but he's going to do whatever. He just wants to be wherever.
Probably wants to have fun, too,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
You want to have fun in this game as well. Well, do you want to know some of KU and K-State's favorite Christmas movies or songs? Stay tuned after this break and find out what those are. Welcome back to our Bowl Bound special.
And since both teams will be playing around Christmas time, we wanted to see what the Jayhawks and the Wildcats' favorite Christmas movies or songs are. Drum roll, please. For the Jayhawks, we're going to start with Devin Neal. His favorite movie is Elf. Jalen Daniels is a big Polar Express guy. And Mello Dotson likes Home Alone because, quote, I just like how he was just being himself, being bad. Perfect description of that movie.
I love it. Well, Austin Moore says he's going to ask Santa for a new office chair. Coach Kleiman said his favorite Christmas movie is Elf. Cooper Beebe said his favorite Christmas movie is Christmas Vacation. And for a song, he said anything, Mariah Carey.
Well, she is the queen of Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, we are looking forward very much to going out to these bowl games and covering them. My coverage will start on Sunday, so be sure to tune in for that and stick with us on social media as well. Vince?
That's right, and mine will be on Wednesday for K-State in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. We'll see if they can eat the mascot.
Yeah.
We'll see.
See how it is. Thanks for joining us.